What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I will be saying the best player every Premier League club, in my opinion. This is based on how good they are currently, basically this season. Yeah, I guess some of them. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments, I guess. And yeah, I'll get into it. Let's go. Arsenal, I've gone with Saka. It's between him, Odegaard, maybe Saliba or Gabriel, but I think it just is Salah. I mean, not Salah, Saka. Sorry, he's very vital to Arsenal performances basically, and now when he's been injured recently, just hasn't been. They haven't been quite as good, and you can kind of just tell with the performances and their lack of creativity. I mean, part of that's due to Havertz just being a donkey, but I mean, yeah, it's just is Saka. Aston Villa Martinez could be Watkins, um, but yeah, I've gone with Martinez. I mean, he's pretty good to be honest. I mean, the thing is, right, he does really good sometimes, but he's also prone to not doing very good. Like he'll save you a lot in the big games, but sometimes in like the kind of smaller games against some of the like weaker teams, he just won't do as good. But I mean, you kind of get away with it more. But I mean, he is like Argentina's goalkeeper, and they are the best team in the world. So not really surprising that he's the best player at Aston Villa. Bournemouth, I gone with Semenyo. There could be a few at Bournemouth, to be honest. But I gone with Semenyo this season, especially. He's been pretty good for them in there, and I mean, Bournemouth have been pretty good this season. I mean, they've had a lot of good players. They've got a decent core of youngish players as well. So if they actually will stay, they could be good for the next while, I guess. Brentford, Brian Mbeumo. It's kind of between him or Visser. This is a pretty easy one. And Mbuemo's been pretty good this season, though. Kind of carrying Brentford to where they are, which is like, I mean, not great. Like they're hardly the best team, but I mean, without Mbuemo, they'd definitely be doing worse. So it's got to be him as Brentford's best player. Brighton, I go with João Pedro. Could be Matoma, except he's leaving. Well, he actually might have left by the time you guys are seeing this. Um, I don't. 90 million, by the way, for Matoma. That's like 88 million profit or something ridiculous. I'm going with João Pedro though. I'm not going to pretend I've been watching Brighton too much this season, but from what I've seen, he's been pretty good. I mean, Brighton haven't been as good as they have been in previous seasons, despite the fact they're pretty high up on the table. It's just a lot of teams have been pretty inconsistent, barring Liverpool pretty much. So I'm going with João Pedro for Brighton. Chelsea, Cole Palmer, another pretty easy one. Cole Palmer is definitely the best. I mean, Reece James is up there as one of the best. Caicedo's Enzo Fernandez, they've all been good this year. Or Reece James in like the last 3 games he's played. He's probably injured by the time this video is uploaded anyway. But it's obviously going to be Cole Palmer. Really good breakout season last year. Hasn't been doing too great recently. I mean, of course, by the time this comes out, he might have scored like a hat trick or something again. But I mean, to be honest, Chelsea haven't been very good in a while. Like basically the entire of January, they have not done very good. So yeah, it's not really surprising that. I mean, he's not going to do good if the team is not doing good. But hopefully Chelsea are back and Cole Palmer is still the best player by far at Chelsea. Next up, Crystal Palace. I've gone with Eze. Um, I mean, probably would have been Elise last year. Eze's like their main creative guy, sits up for Mateta and whatnot. It could also be Mark Gahey, but I've gone with Eze. But I mean, either or really. He's more Eze's like the creative guy, so I've gone with him with it. Everton, Jordan Pickford. I mean, he's kind of their wall at the back. I mean, he's not the best goalkeeper, but he's pretty good, and he has saved Everton quite a few times, and one of the reasons why they're still in the league, probably to be honest. Um, so yeah, not surprising that Pickford's Everton's best player. Fulham, I've gone with Iwobi. Fulham was really hard one to pick because they don't have like major standouts. Similar to Bournemouth, kind of just feels like, and Brighton, it kind of just feels like everyone's good, which is kind of a sign of a well-run club. Is that they're not relying on one or two people. It's just kind of everyone's doing their job pretty well. But I've gone with Iwobi. I mean, this guy, he's still like 29 or something. I thought he was way older because he's been around for so long. Um, like I remember this guy scoring against Chelsea in the Europa League final in like 2019, and like that's what 6 years ago almost now. and I mean he would have only been like 22, 23 then. But I mean, yeah, and Iwobi's pretty good, to be honest. I mean, if I just picked him, it could be anyone from Fulham, really. Ipswich gone with Leif Davies. It was between him and someone else. I forgot who it was between now. To be honest, I don't know too many Ipswich. Oh, it was between him and Liam Delap. The striker who scored against Chelsea. I mean, anyway, I'm Leif Davies. I mean, he's been all right for Ipswich. I mean, Ipswich aren't very good, to be honest. But best of a bad bunch. I mean, Ipswich 19th, not great. But I mean, Davis, he's all right and might even get to the England team if Luke Shaw's still injured. Leicester going with Ndidi. I don't actually know if he is like. That's one I don't know. Leicester have also been pretty bad, so it's kind of hard to think of someone. But this guy back in like 2020 was like at the peak of his powers. Probably should have moved to a bigger club, and then he ended up in like the Championship, and now he's just still at Leicester. I don't know. I've picked him as Leicester's best player, but to be honest, Leicester have not been great this year, so they haven't had too many great players. But I've gone with Ndidi. Yeah. Any Leicester fans, let me know if you agree with me or not. Liverpool, Salah, another obvious one. I mean, it could be Van Dijk, to be honest. Well, this season it's been Salah by far. He's got so many goal contributions. He's probably going to break the honorary record of 20 goals, 10 assists. 20. He's probably going to get more than 20 goals and more than 20 assists, which is like Henry's record, I think, for like the most of those both. And yeah, Liverpool probably going to win the league this season as well. And Salah has kind of been a pretty vital part of it, to be honest. City, Erling Haaland. Could be Rodri. It might actually be Rodri, to be honest. He's kind of been the vital part, and that's kind of showed since he's been injured. But I mean, it also could be Haaland. He's the reason that they score so many goals, and with a less clinical striker, they'd probably win less games. So I've picked Haaland, at least this season, because Rodri's been injured. Haaland's been the best player. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if Haaland actually is. It might be Rodri, but I've picked Haaland because not many other strikers in the world can actually do what he does. Man United are going with Bruno Fernandes, another one where it's like not everyone. I mean, it could be Mainu. That could be a decent shout. I mean, they've not been great this year, to be honest. So I've just gone with Bruno Fernandes because he definitely has shown that he is very good. Like I remember maybe it was 2021 season, he was one of the best players in the Premier League. And yeah, I mean, he's definitely shown he can be good. Whether he's like doing it right now or not is up for debate, I guess. Newcastle, Alexander Isak, another fairly obvious one. I mean, he scored so many goals this season. Newcastle have been good. I mean, this guy scored like 8 games in a row or something ridiculous like that. So yeah, I mean, it's got to be him for Newcastle, to be honest. I mean, Newcastle have a couple good players, but I don't think anyone as good as Isak right now. Not Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. I've gone with Gibbs White. Honestly, this could be Chris Wood. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I've gone with Gibbs White, one of their creative players. Also could be there's also Elanga, Hudson-Odoi. Could be one of the defenders, Murillo or Milinkovic. Even the Cells, to be honest. But I mean, I've gone with Gibbs White. Definitely think he has a lot of potential, and he's still fairly young, so he still can go on to be even better. And I guess he's Forest's best player right now. Southampton, literally no one. Cannot think of a single player on Southampton who even deserves to be here, to be honest. They've got 6 points so far this season, which is not great. So I've just gone with no one for Southampton, to be honest. Stick me in the team, I'll do a job, to be honest. Spurs gone with Kulusevski. Honestly, probably should be Son, but Kulusevski has been very good this season, so I've gone with him. I mean, yeah, he's kind of got a more free role where he's kind of gets to go through the middle more instead of being like an out and out winger, which helps him be more creative, I guess. I mean, Solanke's also been good for them this season. Son is obviously a very good player. I'm not being the greatest this season, but neither of Spurs. I mean, they're like 14th or something like that. So I mean, no one at Spurs has been great this season, to be honest. West Ham are going with Paqueta. It was kind of between him and Jared Bowen. To be honest, I've gone with Paqueta. I mean, he is Brazilian. He does literally play for Brazil, so it's quite hard to go past him. And I mean, unless he gets banned, he's still going to be pretty good for West Ham the next couple years unless he leaves. Like, I thought he was going to leave to Man City, but then like they discovered he was going to get banned or something, so they didn't. But then he hasn't got banned. I don't really know what's happening with him now. Wolves, Mateus Cunha, another one where it's pretty obvious this guy does not deserve to be at Wolves, especially if they go down this season. Get him out of there. So yeah, get him to Arsenal or something. I don't know. No, get him to Chelsea. To be honest, actually, no, we don't. No, don't get him to Chelsea. Don't need another flipping winger. Need a goalkeeper and centre backs. Centre backs actually fine. Why am I talking about Chelsea? Just get Sanchez out. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. Let me know if you agree with me, and I'll see you